Hey everybody, welcome to Lisa's Art Room. So today we're going to be working some more on this DIY miniature house. It is the Cathy's Flower House and it's by Rolife. So y'all come in and say hi, let me know you're here. I'm currently live on Facebook if you see the little red button on the top left. If not, you're catching a replay either here or on YouTube. Let's see. Sorry, the Facebook glitch is really messing with me. My screen is too small, I can't see. So just bear with me. I'm going to get you guys pulled up and I'm going to do a sound check, make sure that y'all can hear me. Hopefully I'm like the right direction. Let's see if I can find the live. Right, there it is. Check the sound. Seems like the mic is working. Okay, so everything seems good. I am going to go ahead and pull the camera up top so that we can get started on this, and I can see what I'm doing. All right, just one second. Oh my, I can't see the screen. Hold on. I think it's straight. Okay. Let's see. That looks good. I think we're good. All right. So we're working on this. We're just going through the book and doing it in order. For those just joining in. Let's see, do I need anything out of this? I've got most of it into other containers by now, but that's the paper stuff. We might be at that point today. Around. All right, sticky tape and bags. This on the table. This is just in case I need to refer to items that I can't figure out. And these are the paper cutouts. And I think the only board left is this one. Don't think I need that one. This goes somewhere in there. And then I think, I doubt we'll get to this. I'm just going to leave it in here. So we are coming along on this pretty good. Let's see where we're at. Y'all have to bear with me. My hand is killing me. I like put together, you know those, I call them IKEA furniture, but it's not. I got it at Target, but the bookshelves that I have in the background that are just the typical black melamine, I don't know, the pressed particle board furniture stuff. You know how you have to put it together with the little hex screw thing? Oh my goodness, that is not good for tenosynovitis stuff. I was in so much pain by the time I was done. I was like, okay. About halfway through, I finally found a little, I don't know what you call them. You know, these things that you put on the end of your bit. I found a new bit, and I found that this bit actually works on those little hex things, so I could put it in my power drill. That was helpful, but I didn't know I had one, so. All right, where are we at? We are at, I think, this plant. I think we ended up on the little stripy guy here. So it's page 22 for those following along. And let's see. So here's some of the stuff. Oh, here's another thing. Put that up there. All right, it's furnitures. We got a lot of stuff built. A bunch of plants. Lots of little teeny tiny plants. And I need that. What else? Where is all my stuff? Oh, there it is. And I put some in this. Little teeny tiny plants and a little sign and an easel and books and broom and shelves and stuff. Got a lot of stuff. So we are getting there. Set those over here. Hopefully I won't step on it. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. Ooh, that's hard to tell. Okay. Oh, you have to do it. Oh, I see. Sorry. I'll show you guys, for those that are on my page, I'll show you a screenshot of this later, of what I'm dealing with on this silly Facebook app. It's so tiny. It's like 2 by 3. I mean, if that. Alright, is that zoomed? That's like the size of the book, I think. That should be good. Alright, I'm going to throw some tape up. Yeah, I want to use that. It's more expensive than this one. Use this one. Let's see, how far over is that? Just waiting for my phone to catch up. It takes forever. This is just to help keep me in screen so I don't start going out of screen, because I will. Most definitely, I will. So that should be about there. So kind of stay in that area. We should be good. Okay, so next plant is potted foliage G. I assume it was from this. All right, let me get that out. Where's my G's? Oh, it's K7. I was like, that doesn't make sense. It's K7. Okay. All right, tweezers. Okay, so K7 is these leaves. And we'll stick them there. My surface is almost the same color. Wire, this might be a half a wire, which might be the right size. Let me see if that's a half a wire. It was just a scrap left over from the last live. Find the wires. Where did I put them? They were in what, bag 5, I think? Yeah, bag 5. Let's see if that looks like it's a half. Yeah. And then something out of here. What was it? This one? I think I'm going to need the other one for the next one, so. No, that's the brown one, isn't it? Black, brown? Which one is that? It's not this one. Is it one of these? E38. I think it's one of these. Okay, so this little guy. So we need one of those and one of those, and wire. And then next we will need one of these. I'm just going to put it up above, and we will need, no, what? Where'd it go? It's not in here. Sorry, throwing stuff. Oh, we will need one of these. I'm just trying to get these beads out that I'm going to need real soon. Where is that other metal bead? Did you stick it somewhere else? Probably did. It's not in that. Not in that. Is that it? There it is. I think I found it. Not sure if that's the bag of, oh my goodness. It was always in, but now it's in here. For whatever reason. All right, there. Okay. Throw all these back for now. I'm sure we'll need to be pulling them out again. Oh, this is one of those. I don't know which one it is. better leave it out. Okay, which one of those is it using? G11. Okay, let's see if I can figure out which size G11 was. Unfortunately, they don't have writing once you punch them out. G11 is this one. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, so it is that one. So I need that, and that. Okay, don't need these little stickies. Okay. And we're good. I could almost leave them even a tiny bit further. As long as I remember to stay in the middle. I know it's so far away. I hate for y'all to, especially, gosh, people viewing on their phones. I can only imagine. All right, for this one, it says to take a half a wire. It says to take half the stem, fold once, and then fold into 3 equal parts. So you fold it once, like that. And then 3 equal parts. So just kind of guesstimate what 3 equal parts is. So about like that. And then it says to get your pliers. It doesn't say that, but you're gonna need them. All right. You just, it doesn't really say. It says, like on the next one it says, but it doesn't really say on that one. But that's okay, I know what to do. All right, so squish them all together, because you're gonna need to go through the little bitty hole on that thing. So squish it together. You can honestly just put the part that you cut. I'm just gonna use these. So cut the tops. Leave the bottom together. It's going to be 2 separate pieces, but just leave it together. I'm going to throw some tape around it because that seemed to work last time. So we'll take a little piece of tape and just wrap around the bottom. It just helps keep it together so it's not coming apart while you're trying to work. And then we may or may not throw clay in there because I've been having issues with things not fitting. So just enough to go into your pot, okay? So just not too far up. Get it started there. Is it sticking? No. Stick. There it goes. Okay. So we just wrap that around. And then all these are snipped. So we're just going to straighten them. They're a little bit curvy. So straighten them up. Don't worry about the lengths right now. And then you're going to push up through your... this has a lot of burrs on it, so I'm going to take those off. So, anyone, let's see. I don't know if you can see, because I can't see. I can't see what I'm showing you. It's so bad. But anyway, I can kind of feel them. There's little burrs. Just take them off, because sometimes, this is just sandpaper. Sometimes they do include a little teeny piece of sandpaper, by the way. They'll hinder you getting it into the container. So it helps if you just kind of take them off a little bit. All right. Now we can put our little wires through, and we're gonna do like a little test fit and see how it fits into that vase, because if it which is the top, that's the top. If it doesn't, if it feels like it's gonna move around too much, then you can either kind of mess with your wire and fold it out so that it kind of stops it from doing that, or if you have some sticky clay of some sort, you can throw that in there, which I've been doing, but I'm going to try this method first. I'm just kind of bending the wires out a little bit, and then we'll kind of squish them to where it fits tight. All right, does that feel tight? All right, I think that's okay. You gotta squish that in there, which is also a challenge. I like these because they're longer and they're a little more ergonomic. Is that the right word? Ergonomic? I think that's the right word. But I pinch myself right there if I'm not careful. So I'm just trying to squish that in there. And once you get squished in, just make sure. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay, so they need to be, you know, roughly the same length, but having them a little bit different is often good. So they are a little bit different right now. I'm just going to leave it like that. You should have 6. If you don't, you folded your wire wrong. And you can choose to either chop one off or just do it again. All right, so we've been wrapping these with tape. Now, they have different sizes. I'm trying to look at the picture. I don't guess it matters. But you can kind of think about maybe where you want the sizes when you're putting them on, but this seems like too many. Is this the right one? Is it supposed to have 8? Did I do something wrong? No, logically, 1 stem folded in half and then 3 times would be 6. Why does it have 8? I'm really... Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These instructions, guys. Take half the stem, fold once, and fold into 3 equal parts. Okay. How do you get so many? They show, this picture shows like 8. Okay. But the folding pattern does not. I get 6. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm really confused. Okay. Maybe y'all know, because it's just not making sense to me, because I'm really confused. Let's see. I am using the right ones, right? It's K7. Yep, says it has 8 of them. Huh. Do you not use them all here? Fold into 3 equal parts. That's 6. Oh, I don't know what to do. It's supposed to be 8. Okay. I'm confused. This has to be wrong. I don't think it's me. I'm just going to pull them out. I'll keep it. There's plenty of wire. I'll keep it for something else maybe. And I'm just going to start again. I think it is wanting you to fold it in half and not into 3 equal parts. That's what I'm guessing. So I'm going to take a half a stem. I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to fold it in half again. That should give me 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. All right. So we'll do it that way. It's got to be right because there's 8 pieces. So I don't know. You know, sometimes I mess up on instructions because I don't think it's me. Could be. Who knows? Could be. Alright, we'll just do that. I'm not sure if I need this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Interesting. So, I don't know. No clue. But you need 8 of them, so we're going this way. I'll have to go back and watch some of the other girls' videos and see if they had the same issue. Alright, so, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's 8. Okay. So, I just wanted to make sure. Make them real tiny because you're going to need to get them through that hole. You can do one at a time too. You don't have to try to squish them all through at the same time. But you can kind of work them in one at a time. Now, will 8 go through here? I hope. Yes, it will. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. We have a little more wire now to fit in our pot. Just kind of playing with it to give it a little more bulk. If I can get it to bend the right way. I'll try there. Where'd my pot go? There it is. Hey, I got it in there. I think it's all the way. Okay, let's try that again. I am so confused. I hate when instructions are not right. Why is that one giving me such a hard time? Every little thing messes with you when your thumb tendons are hurting. It's like you can't you just can't deal with little things like that. It's like, gosh, even picking up the milk jug. It's like, can't do it. As I get older, I'm like, gosh, is that what arthritis is like? Is it just going to get worse? You wonder, you know? Maybe. All right, there. I still feel like I'm too far out. Unless I'm just a fraction more. It's so hard to tell. But I'm trying to get closer for y'all on these things because I know they're tiny. I do understand that. All right, we're putting tape. Just these little pieces. I do have another one of these tape things, by the way. So I know I'm getting low on this one. So I found that just... Sorry. Where are my other tweezers? I don't know where they are. All right, we'll try to move it with my finger. I'm just going to line them up so I can just put tape on all of them. It's just a little bit quicker, but I can't. Can't get things to move. They have these little holes they want you to put them through, but if you weren't watching last time, I am not using their little holes. I'm just doing tape. So if you see little holes on yours, you know, that's up to you what you want to do, but this is too long. I'm going to put this on this one. Well, I guess I could fold it over. That's fine. I'll peel them all at once. I'll just put them all on. I'm trying to save time. These things are very time consuming. It doesn't bother me typically, but, you know, for someone else watching it, it might be an issue. All right. For these longer ones, I'm just going to fold over that. Oh my gosh. I'm going to fold over that little bit. If I can get hold of it. Come on. So there's like a little extra bit there at the end. I'm just going to we'll just stick that one. I guess I'm not going to worry too much about where I'm placing them because you can always bend the wires and move it. And we'll just do one at a time. Seems like you might want, I don't know if you'd want the big one in the middle or the big one on the outside. I guess the small one should be in the middle. You think? Maybe. I could also cut these. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it where it doesn't stick where I don't want it. I don't really want it at the top section. I just want it at the bottom section. Probably is better to put it off the other end. There. It's going to stick to me. Okay. So, trying to see which ones are longer. I think this one's longer. If I was doing a recorded video, y'all wouldn't have to watch all this. You could just fast forward when I'm doing, you know, multiples of the same thing. But since we're live, you got to watch all of it. So, y'all ever been scammed? Hubby was scammed the other day. So we're on like a nighttime schedule right now. So that means sleep all day, get up at night. He comes running in my room. And like, you know, while I'm sleeping. It doesn't even matter what time it was. But he comes running in my room. And he's like, I have to leave. I have to go to the sheriff's department right now. They're saying I got a jury summons and I didn't show up and I got to go right now. And he's like freaking out. And I'm like, what do you mean you got a jury summons? I check the mail every day. You didn't get a jury summons. And he's like, no, they're saying that I'm in contempt and I have to come and that I'm going to have to pay some sort of fine and I have to come down to the sheriff's department. And I'm like, babe, this really sounds like a scam. And he's like, no, they're saying that you know, it's got to be legit because they're telling me to come down there. And I'm like, babe, you need to hang up the phone. It's a scam. And he's like, he's freaking out. He's like, no. He's like, this is literally the sheriff's department on the phone. I'm like, no. You need to hang up the phone right now. And the guy can hear me. And he's like, oh, no, you can tell your wife that, you know, she's nothing to worry about. This is legit. And you know, and I'm like, babe, hang up the phone. And then I'm using some exclamatives because I'm really getting frustrated by this point. And he's falling for it. And then the guy, he like goes back in the room and the guy won't let him get off the phone. And he's like, you can't tell your wife anything about this. This is a personal case and and he's like, I'm not telling her about it. I'm just telling her I got to leave. And I'm like, yeah, no. I'm still trying to get him off the phone. And then finally the guy's like, well, you need to like send us this bond money right now, and come down here and sign these papers. And I'm like, and he's like, what do you mean send you money? And then he's finally like, okay, this is a scam. I'm like, yeah, it's a scam. Get off the phone. It's like so crazy the things they do these days. It's like, man. And he was so sure that it was really the sheriff's department because they were saying you got to come down to the sheriff's department. So since they were saying that, he was, you know, led to believe it was really them. But they weren't even going to let you get that far, really. You know, they were just going to get their money and hang up. Why do I have an extra one? Oh, there it is. I was like, I didn't see that little leaf. But yeah, so don't let people fool you. If they ask for money on the phone like that, it's a scam. No legitimate place is going to do that. And then I started worrying. I was like, oh, great. Now they have your voice. So, you know, the next thing will be copying your voice and telling me you've been in a wreck or something. It's like, but we have a code word. I don't know if y'all have code words. You should always have a code word for when something like that happens and it's, you know, your partner coming and they're asking you to send them money or something. And it sounds like them because they can copy your voice. Ask for the code word. If they don't know the code word, be like, sorry, you're on your own. And then, you know, the scammer will run away, hopefully. All right, so, but yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was a really crazy situation. It's the first time that we've had one of those, and I know they're popular. But anyway, so once you get all your little things on there, then you can kind of figure out where you want to put them. And they're sticky, so if you want at this point, I did find putting extra tape over the back was helpful because even though they seem to be sticking really well, if you're handling them a lot, they, you know, between now and getting them in the kit, they may fall off. And you can just take a little piece of Scotch tape or something. Or even, I found this double-sided sticky tape that I have in my stash. I found if I just take a little tiny piece of that, because it's kind of the same sheen as the other tape, you don't need a big piece, so just take a tiny little piece. It kind of covers up that wire more. And this is just an extra step. I'm not going to do it with you on this live, but I'm just going to do like 2 because I have this tape already. But you can just kind of cover up the backs and make sure that they're really secure. If you feel like there's, you know, if they're still falling off or whatever. And then if the sticky is bothering you or becoming a problem, you can take like some powder. It doesn't have to be any specific powder, you know, just something powder, like, you know, could even be makeup setting powder, anything. Your embossing powders, and just tap a little bit of that on the sticky tape. It doesn't take much to take off that extra sticky, and then they won't be sticking to everything that you know, touch. So anyway, that's just something I do. If it seems like too much, don't worry about it. Just if you fall off, put them back on. But anyway, and then you want to just play with them and get them all in shape and you know, figure out if you like the big ones on the outside. I guess I like the big ones on the outside. Give them a little bit of a bend, you know, have some falling over, some standing up, kind of, you know, make it like nature, different. Okay, little plant. One down, the others are pretty much all the same. We're gonna do this. All right, next one. We need G9. Where'd my little board go? You buried it. There it is. Is that it? G9. Can you see it? I think I already have the G9 punched out. Why do I have the G9 punched out? Did you put it somewhere? Is that a 9? I think it's a 9. I punched some of these out ahead of time. Where did I stick them? Oh, there they are. They're right here. Alright, G9. If you do this, make sure you mark them, you know, so you can see what's in there. Alright, G9 and this little guy, and it says, it doesn't say anything. It shows a picture. It looks like it's possibly 8 of them. It's K8. Let's see how many K8 is. We're just going to go by how many it is, and then we'll fold it appropriately. K8 is 6. So this is a 1/3 one. So this is a half and then a third into thirds. So maybe just go by, you know, how many leaves it is and then decide what to do, because sometimes they get it wrong. So we can take the one that I already made that is indeed 6. It's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. Okay. Stick this in there. Yeah. And see if it'll fit, because it's a different size pot. It's close. We can squish it a little. I just got to squish these bottom wires just a fraction more. Make sure they'll go in there. Just a tiny, tiny bit more. Is that about right? Yep, that's good. Okay. Feed these through our little teeny tiny thing. Let's see how burry it is. It's not terrible. Take it off just a little bit. Alright, let's shove these through. Some of these holes are so tiny. They'll fit, but you gotta really work at it. Through there, and stick it in our pot. Make sure it seems tight. It seems good. Okay, squish her down. Not with that because it hurts. Try this way. Waiting for it to fly across the room. Wow, that's tight. That is G9, right? I hope it's G9 because it feels really tight. Yes. Okay. I think I got it. They seem a little long, but I think it's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get messy here. Am I still on screen? Yes. I think I am. I keep trying to move. I think I need to move this tape. I think I'm getting a little too high. It's the hardest thing for me about being zoomed is get out of screen. All right, now I can't tell which is the top and which is the bottom of the sleeve. Huh. I'm sure there's a top and a bottom. I think it has little vines going up. It's just so tiny. But I think they're there. Oh my goodness, static. Alright, I'm going to try to look at them all. I've got a magnifying glass somewhere, but I moved it. No, it's not sitting here. Alright, I think that's up. I think that's up. Oops, I'm doing it again. That looks up. And that looks up. So, I'm just going by the veins. So, just go in the direction that should go up. Where'd that go? Is it this one? Yes. I dropped it and I was like, oh, I can't find it. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm half awake because I overslept so much. I'm like, that looks really long. I think it's too long. There's a possibility I did something wrong. I don't know, but I'm just gonna trim them down because I think they're too long. Oh, it has a picture. It has a picture of how long it's supposed to be. Follow the instructions. Don't be like me and be a rebel. and be like, oh, I'll just do it however I want. It'll be fine. No, you totally can just do it however you want. It'll be fine. All right, that close? That's close. Now, that looks better. Is this the right one? Yes. Okay, okay. Up. Yep. I keep forgetting to look at the picture and cut the wires. But you realize that as soon as you start putting them on, it's like, oh, that's really long compared to their little picture. These have different sizes. I'm going to just do like every third or so for this size. And then I'll do one more big one. Whoops, I think that's the wrong way. Oh no, no, this way. Okay, stay. Okay. I gotta find that other tape. It's probably in one of the bags. Probably could have gone a little bit shorter, but that's all right. It'll be fine. You could also just, stick your stem down further, but whatever works. One more. Okay, all stuck. I think so. Just give them some shape. There we go. All right, next we have a shiny one. We have what looks like a snake plant and some other kind of plant. So these are K9 and K10, which I don't think I've punched out yet. And then this is G6. Let's see, did you have K9 and K10 yet? No. All right, so that's on the thing still. All right. All my things are falling off. Falling off ahead of time, which is why it's very helpful to do that ahead of time. All right, K10 is this big old one. All right, and then K9. Oh, it's right next to it, jeez. Okay. They're so fiddly. All right. one. Looks like one of those beads on the end of your blinds. Okay, we'll start with this one, it appears, which is silver and red. And it says, put tape around the curve. And then I guess you kind of roll it around the tape. So let's see. Does it matter which side? Nope. Alright, so I'm not sure how you curve this, but we will attempt to start it peeling, and then I think I can curve it. Maybe. Let's see if this works. Kinda, sorta. It's sticking to me more than it is the plant. Alright, kinda, sorta. There. And then it says to hold your tweezer here. It doesn't say roll, but I assume some sort of a roll, maybe? Maybe. Hopefully I'm doing it right. So we're just gonna kind of try to roll. Does that look right? Kinda, sorta. Alright. And then just kind of squish it a little bit. And then these should have a little bit of a curve to them. So let's see. I could probably use these soon. So if you take your thumb and you put it on the flat paper with the whatever straight item that you have, it could be anything. It could be a popsicle stick. It could be a bone folder, your tweezers. And then put your thumb on top and then pull. It'll give it a little curve. Okay? So I would suggest giving them just a little bit of a curve. It doesn't have to be real strong. The harder you press, the stronger the curve will be. But just a slight curve on some of them. So they look a little more interesting. Okay. And then you kind of play with them a little bit. Move them around. Don't move them too much. They are paper. They will rip. That's going to go in that little bead with some tape on the bottom of it. So I feel like I'm a little bit fat on it, but let me see. It'll probably work. Okay, we're going to put the end in there first. Where'd it go? You didn't get it out. G6. Get your bead first. See if I can pop this out. Nope, not with that. Ouch, that hurt. Alright, and then just set it on your table and put the bead on top. Usually you can push it down on it. Okay. That's usually the easiest way to get that in there. I think it's in there. It's really tiny. Alright, then we tape on this. So how big of a piece? Yeah. It probably doesn't need this big of a piece, but I'm going to do it anyway. So it just shows kind of putting it around it. I'm just going to kind of start it and then squish it all around. So I'll start it. If I can get hold of it. And then just kind of squish it around. Okay. And then squish it in here. In there, hopefully your leaves will fold out appropriately. It's a little one-sided, isn't it? It is. I don't want to turn them too much because I don't want to break them. But something like that. Okay. Next, snake plant. Same basic design. So again, wait, what? Okay, there's another different one. It doesn't really show it again, but it's the same design. So they assume that once you've done one, you've figured it out. So getting it around that curve is a little tricky, so I find it's best if you just kind of start it and then put it around the curve. Okay? And then figure out where to hold it to twist. I'm tempted to use my locking ones, so I don't have to try to hold it, but maybe. Okay. This one's a little tighter, so we'll try not to, I'm just going to do one at a time because I'm failing at it. Just try to keep it going at that angle. I think that feels about right. Okay. And our little bead. Oh, this one has the round part up. That's a tiny hole. This is not that tiny. We're going to try squishing it. Let's see if I can squish it some. Because that is a really tiny hole. Alright, we'll try that. More tape. Probably doesn't need this much, but I'm going to do this much. Like on my finger. There. Bunch of tape on there. Stick it in the hole as best you can. It is a very small hole. So these are kind of the same way. They don't really have much of a shape to them. I feel like it's not in there enough. There. All right, let's do that. We're just going to give them a little bit of a curve. Not too much, because most snake plants don't have a lot of curve. Trying to get hold of one leaf. I can't do it. There. Just tiny, tiny curve. There. All right. There's that. Oh, we're almost to the crazy flowers. Alright, this is another looking snake plant thing. And this one's on a long piece. Where's that paper? Did I already took this one off. This is K11, which is here. This actually goes there. And K45, which is in bag 5. Bag 5. white one. Okay, so this one, whew, I assume there's tape across there. I can't see it, but I assume that's what the deal is. So it looks like you start rolling from the small end. So just keep that in mind when you end up on the large end. So we're just going to put tape on the bottom all the way across. So hard to peel. Got this little extra on here, but I'm just going to fold it over. Ah, don't stick to my fingers. Alright, so start on the small. And same kind of thing. I'm going to use my locking tweezers for this one. It's just it's a longer roll and it's a little more complicated, I think. So it looks like you just roll it up. I can't tell how tight it's supposed to be, so we will go not super tight, like medium tight. I don't know. I really have no clue. It's just using the locking tweezers does make it a lot easier. Sometimes these are called reverse tweezers. And hopefully you end up with these plants a little spread out. I feel like I'm not getting some in that middle section, so I'm going to squish it over a little. I want like it evenly spread. Okay, that looks close. Pull off your reverse tweezers. Should have something like that. See how it fits in there. Not too bad. All right, so we'll throw some tape on there. So we're just gonna put extra tape. It just shows it around the bottom, but I don't know. I think this works better. So if you can get started. There. Okay. So just roll it around. Let it do its thing. Okay. Squish it in there. All right. There we go. Does it need any kind of curve? It needs a little curve. We'll just do this real loose with our thumb and finger. Just gonna give it a tiny, tiny bit of curve. Like that. All right, another plant. Now we're at the flowers. All right, flowers. I cut most of the flowers out ahead of time because I did not want you to suffer. So, all right, we've got P2, P3, P4. P5 is some grass-looking stuff, and it's got both round ones and long ones on it. For this, we need, bag book is ripping. You need these little stems, which are called P40. There's 9 of them, which, if I'm not mistaken, was incorrect. And then it might be right, because you cut them in half, so it's 18. You need 18 pieces. So they're in bag 5. I've already pulled most of mine out. So I've got them in this little container from Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna throw these plants in my box so they're out of the way. Where's my box? There it is. Okay. So, all right. I did, like I said, I did a lot of this ahead of time because it's very, very tedious. So you've got these little stem thingies, stamens, whatever they are. They're funny little Q-tip looking things. They're kind of fragile. The insides are very thin, but they want you to cut them in half. Now it shows cutting them closer to one side. That's just so you have slightly different lengths. Okay, so cut them in half. I think I've already done mine, so I don't know if I'm gonna do all these. I'll just do one because I don't want to cut them all up. Scissors. So like I said, just kind of, you know, make it longer on one side. Not too much longer, just a little bit longer. All right, and lose it somewhere. All right, so then you got 2 lengths of stamens. All right. And then you want to punch out all of these little teeny tiny flowers. All right, they're just in here, and you can just lay it on your table and just push, and typically they'll kind of come out. If it's not coming out, then just gently work it loose. It's a interesting crinkly tissue paper stuff. It's a little thicker than tissue paper, but it's kind of tissue paper. So get all those, separate them into piles, whatever. There are 2 different sizes. There's a large and a small. Okay, so gather up your pieces, stamens. So I did, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. I think I need to do pink. Let me see. All right. So you need this grassy stuff, which is that the straight one? Which one is that? I don't know, it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out when we get to it. So you want to take your half a stamen thing, a small one and a large one. You put the small one first and the large one last. And you push it all the way up to the top, and you put a little bit of tape at the bottom. You can also use a little bit of glue. It's up to you. You need 7 yellows, 9 oranges, and 2 pinks. Okay, the next set of instructions has a flat version. So you got a flat one, and you put a little piece of tape on it, and then you curve this piece by taking it, and I'm just going to show you with one of these. So if you have a stylus and a piece of foam, you can do it that way. It's not really absolutely necessary to do it that way, but you can use your little ball stylus and just curl it up that way and do a whole bunch at once, set them aside. Or you can just kind of stick it in your hand if you don't have a stylus, and like use the end of a paintbrush or something. Yeah, some of them pointy. Squish it up, okay? You just want it squished up a little bit for the flat one, but only the top one, only the little one on the flat ones, okay? So then you put those together too, but they don't have a stem. Okay, so this, you need 3 of the little spheres, which are the P5 grasses. Now, when you cut these out, you're going to notice that some are in half. Okay, some are in half and some are whole. So watch your direction when you get to it. And it's not readily noticeable, but the difference is when you go to, I don't know if I left one or not. Let me see. Can't tell. That's full. I think I already cut them because they kind of, honestly, they just fell apart. My tweezers have sticky stuff on them. Yeah, I didn't save any of them. But anyway, the flat ones that are already cut all the way across, they'll just probably fall apart. I cut all these out ahead of time, punched them out ahead of time, because honestly, getting these little tiny ends out of it is a little tricky. So just go slow and just lightly push it with your finger. Don't rush it because they're pretty fragile. I'm trying to see if I left one to do with you, but I don't know if I did. Let me see. Maybe I did. No, but they look like that. Okay, see, and you just gotta really carefully punch them out because they will rip. Is it a huge deal? probably not. But. All right, so you want to take the whole ones, okay? 3, I think I said 3. 3 whole ones. And then you want to twist them. So you stick your tweezers in there and twist it. I'm going to use the locking ones again. And just secure it at the bottom, I think. It doesn't say to secure it yet, so maybe we won't. Because you might need to throw something in there. I don't know. Anyway, so first step is to make 7, 9, and 2. Let's see how many we have. So orange is, how many do I have? And they give you extras, so don't freak out if you mess one up. There's extra little flowers. Mine are floating around everywhere. All right, how many do I have here? They're sticking together because they have glue on them. 1, well, they have the sticky tape, some of them. All right, well, I can't. I don't know if I can pick them with my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so I already have all these. I'm going to show you how to do one. Don't freak out. So I have 9 of these. I'm just going to set them up here, out of the way. And then I have the little flat ones. To show you these up close because they're really, really tiny. Okay, so they got like a small one on the top and a bottom one. They kind of look like daffodils. Okay, so you need 2 orange, which I think I already did. All right, so 2 orange. Actually, I did 3, but that's okay. You can do as many as you want. Have extra flowers. Doesn't really matter. All right, I don't know which color I'm going to do with y'all, so let me figure that out, because there's some I don't have done yet. I feel like it was the pink ones. Try to get them out of here. All right, so pink, we needed only 2 stems. I have more than that because I got carried away. So 2 of these long ones, if you can get them to not stick together. That's the only thing. They tell you to put tape on the bottom of the stem in there, but if you do that, they stick to everything, like these. So I was using glue a lot of times. Anyway, all right, so I have plenty of those, and then 5 of these flat ones. I don't think I have those done, so here's one. Sorry, I need to get this out of my way. There's 1. How many do I have? I have 2, 3. All right, I think I only have 3. No, I think I did more than that. Let's see. Oh, there's 4. All right, so I need 1 more of those. So I'm going to show you how to do the flat one. All right, so for the flat one, let's see, I'm going to try to zoom in even a little more. I don't know if I can. Okay, so these are the ones that kind of look like daffodils. They're tricky because they tell you to put tape on the bottom, okay? The problem is if you put tape on the bottom, when you put your top one on, it's just going to lay flat. It won't stand up because there's tape sticking to it. So figure out which is the big and which is the small. It's pretty obvious, okay? And you need 1 of each. The small one needs to have a little curve to it. Like I said, you can use foam or you can use whatever works. Your palm works fine too. So give it a little curve. The top one's flat. What I found worked fairly well is cutting the tape into tiny little squares if you're going to use the tape. If not, you can use a tiniest drop of glue. Okay, but it can't be very much because it'll make the whole thing lay flat. So what I did is I took the end of these long ones and I just cut up there so I have some little tiny squares. And then take those little tiny squares, it's tricky, but take those little tiny squares, and you only need one. Once you get one started, it's a little easier because then you got the paper to deal with. Okay, get a little tiny square. And you want to put it right in the middle of your flower. I still feel like I'm too far out. Right in the middle of your flower. And then take it and peel it off. This is tricky. You might have to hold it with something else, like a pointy tool or something. Try not to rip it, so don't hold it with anything too sharp. I think the little stylus works better. Take off the little thing. Take your little rounded one and set it right in the middle. Okay, and then just push the middle down, not the edges. So that's the trick to that one, is just trying to get it to still stick up. Okay, so that's how that works. And you need 5 of those. So I have 5 now. It's 2 orange. I have 2 orange, and I need 2 yellow. So let's make sure I have all of those. And then I'll go on to the stems. I'm just trying to get these out of the way. They give you a lot of, I think that I might need to do the stems on that color. All right, let me get the yellow out. Let's see how many I've got. They go everywhere. They're everywhere. All right, I have 1. I need 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just 2 different lengths. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I have enough of those. So yeah, it's the pink that I left to do with y'all. So I'm going to move those out of the way. Alright, and then daffodil type, I have 1, 2, 3. So how many? I really only needed 2, but I have 3. That's fine. Alright, so set those aside. I'm just setting them off to the side there. Okay, you'll have extras, like I said. There's plenty of. They give you plenty. So if your first few you mess up and they're all squishy and flat, don't stress about it, because there's plenty. All right, so we're gonna do the long one. I think I only needed. No, what did I need? Did I need any? I have a lot of pink ones already. It was yellow. I think I needed more of. How many is that? Is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I needed a yellow one. All right, we'll do a yellow. All right, so I have a lot of pink ones already. All right, so let's grab some yellows. Throw these back in. Where do the pinks go? There they are. All right, get it not stick. All right, so you need a long, or a big and a small, and then you've got different size stems, so whichever one you want. You could mix these up and make them different colors too if you wanted. You don't have to, do what they say. All right, so for this one, you just want, so these stems, they're tricky. So some of them, the part at the base of the stamen is narrow, and some of them it's really, really fat. The really, really fat ones, you're going to have a hard time getting the little thing to go all the way to the top because the hole's very small. So just be aware of that. You might have to really work at it. But you want to put the little one on first. Okay, so just feed it through the hole. It's a little tricky. Feed it through the hole. Let it fall all the way down. Get the big one. Feed it through the hole. Get him. This is why I did this ahead of time. Do you see how tricky this is. All right, all the way down. And then you're going to hit that little spot, okay? And you're going to have to just work it past it. So just start squishing and pull gently on the string. If you pull too hard, you'll break it. It's not super thick. So figure out a way that it squishes up there. If you can't get it to squish up there doing it this way, I found you could kind of take the tweezers and help it a little. But you gotta be kind of gentle. But the idea is to get the stamen kind of sitting in the middle there a little bit and not too far out. It can be out a little bit, but you know, not too far out. But once you get it to where it looks good, then they say to put a little piece of tape around the base. Sorry, it's falling. That's to keep it from falling back down. If it was one that, you know, was fairly loose. They're not all loose. Some of them are really, really tight. All right, so once you get it up there, you can take your little piece of tape, and I mean little. So take a tiny piece of tape, like maybe half of one of the short ones. I'm not going to use tape because I don't like the tape. It sticks to everything. And put it at the base and just wrap it around. Okay. But if you don't want to use the tape, you can take just a tiny, tiny drop of glue, especially if you have one of these little fine tip glues. You should have these guys because they're awesome. If you don't, it's cleaned. First, make sure that your glue is coming out properly. Okay, just a little. And then just put the tiniest, tiniest drop of glue. Okay. And then you can kind of just roll it. And once that dries, it's not going anywhere. Okay. And it also won't be sticky after it dries. I don't like them sticky because they're literally sticking to everything. And I could do another one without. I don't need another one, so we're not gonna waste time. Okay, put this back on. I'm gonna zoom back out in a second, just a little bit, I think. Maybe. All right. So it says the grass. So we've done these. Twirl up the grass. So we want one of these. And it shows you putting the tweezers. Where's my locking tweezers? It shows you putting it at the base where the split starts. There's a split. So you'll have to find the split. Okay. And then it doesn't show any tape or anything. So just put your tweezers on one of the sides. And then just, you gotta roll it. So figure out which direction that is. You're rolling it into like a little cone shape. So just roll it around. Roll it around like that. Okay. Release your tweezer. Now at this point, it doesn't say to secure with tape here. I'm wondering if you have to go through the hole later. So you maybe don't want to secure it with tape. So I would suggest just kind of squishing it a little bit so maybe it'll stay together. Because it's going to unroll as soon as I let go of it. So it says to make 3 of these. It says keep for later. Okay. So we'll do 3. And hopefully they won't unroll. I don't know if they just left out the part about securing it or if you don't want to secure it yet. I don't know. I haven't watched anyone else do that at this point. One more. Find the split. Put your tweezers on. Don't have locking tweezers, you can do it with regular tweezers. It's just a little harder because you got to hold the tweezers tight the whole time. This way you don't have to worry about that part. You only have to worry about rolling it. Okay. Just give it a little squish. Hopefully it'll stay together. Alright, now try to get some of this out of the way that I don't need. Now it says, sorry, my vision just got really blurry. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have a little drink of water because I can't see anything. Sometimes if my blood sugar is really low, my vision goes. Hopefully that's not it. But let's see if I can see what I'm doing. Okay, kinda. All right, doesn't really, okay, long grass. All right, so there's two long grasses. One has a curve and one is straight. Okay, and it's, I don't know how it is in the thing, I don't remember, but it comes like this, I think, and it's two pieces. Okay, for this one, they're looking for the curve. And then you take, move these aside, you take the long piece, put a little piece of tape at the base of it. By little, I mean long. Roll it up with the tweezers. So it goes all the way along the base. Try to see how high. It looks like about almost to the bottom. Alright, so we'll do that. I don't think I have anybody on today. You don't really need it all the way out. I'll do another small piece. I think they want you to leave that part. I don't know. There is tape there though. I could have done a big piece. I'll do the middle size piece. If I can hold on to it. That should be about right. You know, we're just gonna skip over a little bit. All right, and then you're gonna lay the flowers. I'm trying to see how many. So 2 yellows and 2 reds, and just kind of space them out a little bit, somewhere near the middle. So basically you want a long and a short of each color. So if you can figure out which of yours are longer and shorter, do that. So that's a long, it's sticking to me. This is one with tape on it, and it will stick to everything. It's going to stick to all these leaves too. So it's going to go, I'm not going to put it on yet, but it's going to go here. That's a long, that's a short. And then we need yellow. It doesn't really matter the color, guys. It's up to you. Another long and a short. Okay. Now, if you messed up and you cut yours all the same length, just vary where they sit on the grass a little bit. That'll make that work. I'm gonna have to move down a little. Sorry. I just noticed I'm a little out of camera there. I could zoom out a tiny bit on this one. There. Try that. All right. Then pull off your tape carefully, because it's probably going to try to want to roll up on you. So try not to let it do that. Come on, grab. All right, and then you're going to place your flowers. So it kind of shows them kind of in the middle. So we're just going to do one. I'm trying to see how it's kind of below the grass. I wonder if my stems are too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it below the grass a little bit, not too much. And what I'll do is I'll just trim the stems off when we're done. So maybe about here. It doesn't really tell you spacing in the instruction there. So you kind of have to guess. See, I'm sticking to everything. Okay. So try to get them to stick without sticking to everything. And maybe about here. So just vary them a little. Don't get too far below your grass because it won't show. Ow, let go. All right, something like, I feel like this one's too low. I'm gonna move them up just a fraction. Sticking. All right, are we still on camera? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna use the locking tweezer again because this is a lot of rolling. So they've got you starting on this side, so somewhere close to your end, and then you start, turn it so I can do this a little easier. Oh, my flower came off. Get back on there. You're not staying. Stay where you're supposed to stay. If it really becomes an issue, guys, throw another piece of tape on top of them or something. All right, now we're gonna roll it. Hopefully, I can't tell how tight. It looks like it's fairly tight, so we're just gonna try to keep it at the base of our tweezer there. Roll, roll, roll. You're basically going to sandwich your flowers as you're going. All the way to the end. I hope this wasn't a half. It didn't look like a half, but it seems like a lot. All the way, all the way, all the way. Okay. Get your tweezers out. And then if you did like me and you had extra, just trim that off. Okay. Then you've got this. Make sure it'll go in your pot, which is P38. Let me find it. It's in bag 5. I think it's this one. And I'm also going to need this little silver looking guy. And then looks like I'm going to need these too. I'm just pulling these out ahead of time. Is that it? I think that's the right one. All right, so then just throw a little piece of tape around. First, let's do a little dry fit, tri-fit kind of thing. Make sure it goes in there. Yes, it'll go in there. Okay, good. Throw a piece of tape on it. Just somewhere at the base so it'll stay in your pot. We're going to move those little flower stems around in a minute. Okay, shove this in here. Okay, and then you can kind of just, squish it a little bit so you can see all of your flowers. Okay. That's that one. Set that aside. And then we need our little shiny one. And it looks like grass. And then we're going to do 2 stems that you just kind of put in there of pink. So I guess we'll do one long and one short. I think you were only supposed to have 2 to start with anyway, so I just did more. You could probably, I could put all 3 of them in there probably. The grass is, I assume, one of the round ones. I don't know. Excuse me, it's honestly, I guess it's one of the ones we made. That would make sense, right? Alright, so it's got the hole in there. See, at this point it tells you to put the tape, so you could have put the tape ahead of time. You don't want to seal it up so much you can't get your flowers in there. But let's just put some tape in there. My tummy's gurgling. If I can hold on to it. I knew I was going to grab a leaf. Totally grabbed one. That's fine. We'll just squish them up. Okay. And then put it in the pot. Does this have a bottom? Don't see a bottom, so I guess not. It goes in the small. Squish it in there. If you're like me and you got tape where you didn't want it, maybe pull it off. Or squish it in. Got like extra tape there. Oh, come on. Let go. I'm going to try to squish it in. Okay, and then let's just kind of spread them out a little bit. Now these, I don't know if these are too tall. Let me see. Let's see what they look like if I just stick them in there. See, they're not going to go in that hole. There's no way. So they're going to be kind of tall, especially this one. So that's really too tall for this. It doesn't say to cut them, but unless you roll them in the grass first, which I don't know why you couldn't, but I'm just going to make sure that's in there good. So I'm going to cut mine to where they're just kind of sticking out just a little bit because they're way long right now. So I'm just going to cut it. You could probably just bend it, but we'll cut it. So just cut it off. Cut this one off a little bit shorter. Maybe a little bit longer. We'll go a little longer. They're totally the same. It's not a big deal. But... all right. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this is taking forever. Tape. Probably only need the small pieces. A couple on here. Yeah. Like I said, I have another one just showing it just kind of around it is. So go lengthwise just at the base. And then just peel it if you can get a hold of it. Oh my goodness. The flower stem makes it want to move. All right. And then just kind of wrap that around your base. Let's squish it. Alright, I'm just going to use my finger because I can't do it. Right, squish it. It's going to be sticky enough just to stick in there. Hopefully it will go down in there far enough. I'm going to kind of move them out of the way just a little bit because you know wherever it touches it's going to stay. My sticky's not staying on there. You could also probably use glue, guys. So I'm going to try to get it in there. I'm not sure I like this method. It's not. It's such a tiny hole. You can't really get it in the hole, so you're wanting to just put it in the grass, so it's kind of, I don't know. I don't think I like that way. I'm just going to try to shove it in there a little. This one, I'm going to cut this one off shorter because it feels like it's too much. And then try to get one more piece of tape on there. This is a tricky one. It didn't look tricky. That hurts me. Okay. Just stay on the stem, not my finger. All right. Gotta get your leaves out of the way so it'll stay. Hold on. This one needs to move over a little. probably making this so much harder than it should be. All right, get in the hole. There. I think I got it. Kind of, sort of. As my flowers are falling apart. That flower totally started sliding down. Hold on. Either I forgot to put sticky on it or I didn't get enough. Get back up there. It was moving on me. I feel like it's too long, but we'll leave it. I'm just gonna put a little glue there. So it'll stop moving. We'll just kind of drop it. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna try to put it in the middle, kind of. So just play with it until it looks halfway decent. There. All right, how's that? Good enough? Goodness. Ugh. Fingers. I make this so much harder than it should be. I don't know. Do I? All right, there's that one. This one has G13s and straight pieces of grass. Why is there 3? Was I supposed to do 3 of them? It only shows 1. I must use them for this, maybe. That doesn't make sense. Was I supposed to do more than 1 of something? I still have 2 things of grass. Why do I still have 2 things of grass? I'm trying to see where they go. What? Where do they go? Huh? You only made 2, and 1 used the long one, and 1 used the short one. So where did the other 2 ones go? Am I missing something? I think they must go on this spider plant looking thing. That's my guess. Alright. So we want this. And then we want pots, these, and one of the little black ones. That one. Alright, we'll try to at least get these done. Ouch. Sorry. Pain. Okay, G13. Where might they go? G13. There it is. What can I push that out with? Can I do it with my finger? Maybe. It's big enough. Right there. Alright, G13. Okay, got things everywhere. Okay, oh, there's another part. What is that? I can't see it. DG104R. This one? Yes. Alright, I need this one. Alright, page 25. First one is rolling up. We need this. Don't think we need that. We need one of these. We need to put 5 flowers on it, and we need to roll from the big side this time. Okay. So tape on the bottom. far as colors, you know, do what you want. It really is not that big of a deal. If I can get this off. Okay, there's one. Two. Alright, flowers. It's saying, I'll stick with what they're saying. What are they saying? I can't tell. Red, yellow, yellow, or orange. Is that orange? Or I think it's orange. I call that red. It looks red, but it's calling it orange. Alright, it's two of those. Looks like two of those. I'm probably going to have to cut them anyway, so it doesn't really matter which two. We'll do two small ones. And then yellows, say, looks like three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And they're still showing them below the grass, so I've got them too long again. So we'll put them here. And red. Probably should have started from the other side. I don't know why two yellows there, but okay. I'm just trying to space them out. Like on my finger. Ah. It's one of the ones with the glue tape on it. Like I said, I don't think I like that method. It wants to stick to everything. A little higher or lower. I'll go higher. And then we'll go maybe lower. Alright. And then roll. Ouch. I use locking tweezers again. Okay, roll. Roll, roll, roll. Alright. Messy. Throw a little tape on the bottom there. This one get a bottom? I don't see one. I guess not. So put it on the big side. Squish it in there. And then we'll fluff. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Okay. Flowers. Like a little more fluffy. So, seems like your flowers get a little bit misshapen, but you can kind of play with them and squish them back up. I'm trying to get the leaves to come down and out a little more. There. I probably should have given them a little fluff first. I don't know. Alright, there you go. There's that one. It's pretty much the same as the other one. I don't know why they didn't have us do it then. And then this one is, we got time? I think we have time. Alright, so it's R1 and R2. Which is these two top ones. This is thicker. It's more like cardstock. Release. There. R1, R2. Okay. R1 and R2, one's bigger than the other one, it looks like. Has the, let's refer to the number. Has the smaller one on the top, which I guess that's logical. So, does it show tape? I don't think it does. I mean, you could just put one of those tiny squares, or you could just use some glue, just to kind of help it hold together. I'm just going to put a drop of glue, guys. Just a tiny drop of glue. Oh, flip it over. Wanted that one. So, do you make them separate, maybe? I'm gonna assume you cross them. Okay, we'll stick that together. So we have all of them like that, and then you want to squish them all up. Let's just move them up. Okay. And then they're going to go into that little round thing. Okay. Into that, and then into the pot, which is it this one? I'm trying to tell. I think it is. Okay. Hopefully that's the right pot. I honestly cannot tell. It seems like it's really going far down in there. But maybe it's supposed to. Nope. This is failing horribly. That is the right pot, isn't it? Yeah, this is hexagon-like. Whatever 6 is. I don't know. This is square, so it has to be the right pot. But it's just not, I don't know. I guess you gotta put it in just right. It almost seems like it'd be easier just to put this in first. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's got a split in it. I don't know why. I guess because they're thinking maybe you can't feed it through the hole. But I can feed it through the hole just fine. So maybe they're thinking you have to slide it through. So I'm just going to put it in first. And maybe I can get it straighter. I don't think, yeah, I'm not going on the wrong side. So I'm going to put it in first because I feel like I can get it straighter. And then I'm going to put a bunch of tape on there, I think. I don't know. It feels like it needs something inside. Yeah, we're just going to shove a bunch of glue in there. Sooner or later, it'll dry. And I'm just going to stick it in there. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So flatten it out. You want leaves going each direction, it looks like. Your glue will hold sooner or later. Or you could put, something in there to bulk it up or something. So I'm trying to see if there's a rhyme or reason to this. Doesn't really seem like it. Just kind of spread them out a little bit. And then it shows 3 flowers, really short stems. So it's showing an orange and 2 yellows. I don't know when those daffodils come into play, but I guess not yet. Wait a minute. What? No, okay. I thought I did something wrong. 2 yellows and an orange? Sure. Okay, I think these stems need to be really short though. I'm going to cut them a little bit. They seem too long. So I'm going to cut them off a little bit. And then just, it says to put the tape on the bottoms, but we all know how that's been going. So I'm getting my tacky glue out, guys, because I'm just getting frustrated with this tape stuff. I'm going to show just a little bit of tacky glue on there, if I can get it out of the bottle. Is it open? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I think I need to buy some more of this. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm tired, guys. Alright, my tacky glue is not cooperating, so I'm going to open it. Oh, that is probably the reason why. It's got a big glob. Get rid of that. Alright. Clean off your tweezers before they stick to everything. Silicone. Let's go with this one. There. I only need a little because I'm pretty much done with this live. But I am just going to put some glue on them because, you know what? It's probably just the easiest thing to do. I'm trying to get glue all over your book. If you can hold on to anything. I can't hold on to nothing. Alright, let's stick it in there. And it should stick somewhere. Because it's tacky glue. Once it dries, hopefully it'll be fine. I just think it's going to be easier than fighting with the tape. I'll try to go there. Okay, and then once that dries, it should be stuck in there good. Let's see if I can make this one a little bit lower. There. Okay. All that done. All right. Let's see where we're at. Spider plant is next. It looks really complicated. So, oh my gosh, I forgot I rolled up that big thing of glue in there and I just got it all over my hands. So we'll do that next live. Alright, so we're at the spider plants. I'm going to zoom out so I can show you what's going on. Wrong way. Alright, so we're here. So we got to about halfway on 25. And let's just go over what we did. So we didn't even get into these little plants. I guess they come later. These little daffodil ones. Throw this back in my container. So I'm just going to put everything I didn't use. That was the P5 grasses. I didn't use any of those. Half ones. I still have these two. They're probably, I'm guessing they're for the spider plant. I still have this guy. We'll put it back in bag 5 because that's where it goes. Not sure what it was for yet. That or I missed something. And then we've got a bunch of little flowers. But still have some extras that will come up, I'm sure, sooner or later. You know what, I'm just going to toss them in there because at this point I don't need the letters. And get these little daffodils gathered up. They're everywhere. Alright, I'll toss those in there. The extra pieces floating around, but I'll gather those up in a minute. Alright, and then I did all these little teeny tiny plants today. Okay, so here is what we did. Let's see if they'll stand. They will if you don't knock them into each other, maybe. Although my table isn't the flattest of surfaces. Okay? Oh, that goes in that container too. Alright, so that's it. That's what we did. Today we will do the rest on Friday. So I will finish this on Friday with these plants. And let's see, I'll just there. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed watching. I will be back Friday and we'll do some more. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, whatever, all that stuff. I appreciate it. It really helps my algorithm so you guys can find me. Alright, y'all take care. Bye-bye.